Okay, so on to YSS Saturdays, man. Sorry, I've been away for 3 days. I've actually been recording Ali Anthem, so I haven't been able to drop other stuff these past 3 days. But we're doing YSS today, and then tomorrow we've got something else to catch up on, and then we've got Ali Anthems next week. So let's begin with 21 Pilots Backslide. Sonia was kind enough to actually put this as part of her list for this week, which is absolutely awesome because I was going to get to this anyway. But let's, without further ado, man, let's just get straight into this. I'm super excited for this. I'm so excited for this album, but I'm glad that they're actually dropping. Oh, this is the third track I think they've dropped, which I think is awesome, and I also love their videos. Let's see what we got over here. Let's go.
I don't wanna. Rat race, place to place, adding weight.
Tendencies on repeat and
benefit from a shoe with no lace.
Fire, straight off the bat, listen to what he said over there. Rat race, face to face, adding weight. So it's almost like those interpersonal reactions, like when you actually have these personal reactions. He prefers to sort of be alone. It's actually more of a burden on him when he has to interact with other people in the normal, goings of life. I like that. That's very cool.
Place to place, adding weight.
tendencies on repeat and
benefit from a shoe with.
See the actual plastic bag over there, Ned's bread. Breads. That's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to just try and see if we can listen to this straight through, and then I'll go back and react to it, or else I'm going to kill the vibe of this even for myself. Anyway, let's start again.
I don't wanna. Rat race, place to place, adding weight.
tendencies on repeat and
Place to place.
From a shoe with no lace.
take the seat with the crease in it. I don't mind if it's lonely, I don't mind if it's fair. I don't care, you control me, leading me anywhere. I don't wanna backslide to where I've started from. There's no chance I will shake this again. Cause I feel the pull, water's over my head. Strength enough for one more time. Reach my hand above the tide. I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? It's over my head.
Oh my god, this track is amazing.
Bad place on $100 base. Kinda wishing that I never did Saturday. Is that a stain? You should change. Are you doing good? Did you solve all of your problems? Thanks for asking in a way, but accidentally uncovered a new one yesterday. What happened to what I brushed under the rug I used to be? The champion of a world you can't see. Now I'm drowning in logistics. I don't wanna backslide to where I started from. There's no chance I will shake this again. Cause I feel the pull, water's over my head. Strength enough for one more time. Reach my hand above the tide. I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? I don't mind if it's over my head. I don't mind if it's real. You should let go. I don't care, you control my head. Lead me anywhere. I'll take anything you have.
This track is
If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? It's over my head. You
This track
should
is
let go.
fucking crazy.
It's over my head. I don't wanna.
Oh wait. Jeez, I almost missed that. Bruh, these motherfuckers are geniuses. Seriously, these fucking guys are geniuses. I think I get the premise of the actual song. This is literally just the journey of life. What I do like about what 21 Pilots does is the way they connect their music to previous tracks. So if you actually think about like this over here, he's doing like a mundane thing where he's just cycling in the street, right? When you do that, it almost feels like kind of meditational. You know when you've actually driven in your car and you go from like one place to another and you arrive at that place and you kind of feel like, wait a second, I can't even remember getting here. Do you know what I mean? Because you're in that like sort of meditational space, like you're thinking deeply, right? It's this exact same thing. He did this in Stressed Out as well when he was on that tricycle, right? I feel like this kind of format is kind of like him trying to say like he's deep in his thoughts. Like this track he's deep in his thoughts while he's doing the mundane thing, right? But there's so much to extrapolate from this fucking song because 21 Pilots are just absolutely ludicrous when it comes to something like this. So literally the journey of life, the bread has a symbolism, the storm obviously coming through that symbolism of hard times in life as well, right? And then the repetitiveness. Now he literally goes back to the store because his bread gets all damaged by the fucking storm. He gave a bread away. I'll get to that when we go through it again. He gave a bread away. He tasted it, didn't quite like it, threw the one roll away, then came back in the hole. And as he got to Josh, his bread was just completely like soggy and shit, so he went back. But it plays into the very beginning of this track where the first thing, as he arrives at the store, you'll see it now, as he arrives at the store, he throws something away. Now there, you don't know what he throws away, all right? And then right at the end, it tells you what he threw away at the beginning. That's the repetitiveness of life. He's been through this again and again and again, right? So anyway, let's just go back to the beginning and see, like literally from the beginning. Let's break it down a little bit. Check, right here, he throws something away. You don't know what that is. You only know what that is at the end.
I don't wanna.
Love the fact that literally on the windows, it actually gives you the jackpot winners, right? Jackpot winner 1,000, right? So other people have it lucky, right? Other people win money for nothing, essentially. Where he over here is literally, we're taking it all down to the baseline. Even with the bread, we're talking about sort of like baseline level of living, essentially. Like just the bare necessities that you need, bread, butter, milk, essentially, right? And how in the very beginning of his career, those were like the hardest things to get, right? To put that change together, to get that kind of thing. And with that sort of poverty, maybe not poverty, but with that sort of strife of trying to sort of make it, right? You're counting your pennies, you're putting your pennies together, and it's not like he's giving the store clerk like $100 bill. I mean, the guy's wealthy, but he's not giving him $100 bill. He's like literally taking you back to his past, right? So it's like the backslide comes in quite heavily, but I'm saying he's taking you back to his past where you had to like scrounge around for cents to literally find $1 here, find a couple of dimes there to just buy the bare necessities, which is bread, right? So that's very cool. But the bread, specifically with Ned's bread, that actually adds something quite profound to it as well. Carry on.
Rat race, place to place, adding weight.
Tendencies on repeat and
Benefit from a
See what he says over here? This literally is the premise of the song. Tendencies on repeat, isn't it? Because we all tend to backslide regardless. We can literally we can find our shit, we'll put our shit together, and then down the line, right? Life is good. Down the line, you backslide. All of a sudden, like you just, your mental state goes and you backslide once again, right? And every single person has got that tendency of like getting out of shit and then getting back into shit. It's just the way of life.
benefit from a shoe with no lace.
take the seat with the crease.
I love that, benefit from the shoe with no lace. So again, he's playing into the bare necessities, right? Literally down to the actual shoes that you literally can't tie onto your feet, essentially. So he's playing, it's almost like playing into sort of like the poverty, but not like dire poverty. He's playing right into the beginning of his career, right? The bread, the fucking Ned's bread. Ned, I've always thought that Ned kind of represents Tyler's creativity, right? That's literally the symbolism of bread. But now the very basic, right? We're talking about basic necessities over here. Basic necessities for Tyler, right, is that bread. So he's got that bag of bread and he needs that to sort of spur on his creativity. That's the sustenance. That's the calories that he needs to give him the energy to like move on in life, essentially, to actually acquire his successes and things like that, right? And that it's basically saying, I've reached this level of fame, right? But now he's taking it all the way back and saying he's reminiscing on his the very bare necessities of his fucking career when he first started, right? With that kind of creativity, I almost feel like he's trying to allude to the fact that it's harder to be creative now that he's more successful, although I don't think he struggles with it too much, or what we don't know. But I kind of feel like once you've attained it all, that hunger is not there. But now when you're at the base, like you're just hungry for anything that can give you some sort of sustenance so you can actually literally just keep going. And Ned's bread kind of represents that. There's more that represents the bread in terms of the hamburger and Josh right at the end. I'll get to that, which I think is very, very cool, right? And then obviously while he's reflecting over here, he's going to taste the roll. He's going to take a bite out of the roll, and it's kind of like taking you through his music process, essentially. That's how I see it, where he like literally takes a bite of that roll. Nah, fuck, I don't like that one, right? And he throws it out. It's kind of like his music. It's kind of like what he creates, his creativity, essentially. He has something, takes a bite out of something, is like, nah, this is shit. It's like almost the representation of writing lyrics down on a piece of paper, scrunching it up and throwing it away because that's not good enough, right? And it's kind of like if you stack those pieces of paper, it's all the same. It's like six rolls, right? But it's 6 pages. It's exactly the same kind of thing. It's literally, that's what it represents. Essentially, that's at least what I think. Anyway, carry on.
The seat with the crease in it. I don't mind if it's lonely. I don't mind if it's fair. I don't care, you control me, leading me anywhere.
So this over here, I think I like that. I don't mind if it's lonely. I don't mind if it's fair. I need you to control me. I think he's speaking to faith, right? He's speaking to something that's greater and bigger than him, that is actually able to, he's acquired some level of faith, and he's happy that that faith can actually control him. Obviously, he's still playing into the insecurities, right? So on the bike, literally still has his hands tainted and his neck tainted, which plays into his insecurities out in the open for everybody to see. And when he talks about, it's kind of like the faith kind of thing plays heavily over here from that particular line, right? It's like, I don't want to backslide, and it's almost like I found myself better mentally, and my life better mentally, when I had faith in something greater, whether it be God, whether it be religion, whatever else, but in something greater than himself, essentially. That's where he found his value. That's where he found his worth, right? Because when he had that faith, right, the devil couldn't really sort of like, the devil, and I'm talking about the devil literally inside his own head, his own demons couldn't literally encroach on his life, right, when he has this level of faith, essentially. And when you have faith, it means that you're giving yourself to something that's greater, right? You're leaving things up to hope, and hope is a very, very powerful thing, right? And he gives his life a lot of meaning in that particular sense, because look, the devil and the demons are only going to come for you when you're at your strongest. I've said this 1,000 times, not when you're weak. They're not going to bother you with when you're weak. The only reason they come for you is because you're an actual threat, right? If you're weak, it's got no business. You're already where the devil wants you, right? But the reason he comes for you is because you are something of value, and there is a threat there, and that's what the devil and that's what your demons want to take down, right? Thieves don't break into empty houses. Do you know what I mean? It's that value that you attach to your existence, that purpose in your life that keeps you going. Do you know what I mean? Carry on. That's awesome. And if you play that into like the suicidal sort of notions that he had in these past music and things like that, it kind of plays into that, which I think is really powerful. Come on, carry on.
Anywhere, I don't wanna backslide to where I've started from. There's no chance I will shake this again, 'cause I feel the pull, water's over my head.
he's still fucking human. This chorus just gives me so much goosebumps. I swear I get emotional. This chorus is so good though. Anyway, let me just collect myself here because I don't know. There's something about this chorus that's crazy. Anyway, carry on. Okay, so I feel the pool of water's over my head. So it's kind of like going through the life. He's gone through all of this, right? But you do get to a time in all of our lives where you get to a point, all it takes is one fucking bad day to take the sanest man back into lunacy. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's just life. And he talks about that. The storm is always going to come. It's just through your progression of your life, through your learning, through your strife, through all of your adversity, that is where you build that character to gain the mechanics to deal with your existence, to deal with your life. So when the storm comes again, you know how to deal with that storm better. Right? You're not caught off guard by it. You're okay to repeat it again and again and again because you've got the strength if something fails. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't just give up. But still, there's that fear of when you're in a good place, you don't want to backslide, which I think is fucking awesome. Anyway, this fucking chorus is ridiculous.
I feel the pool, water's over my head. Strength enough for one more time.
Yes.
Reach my hand.
Strength enough for one more time.
Take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time?
I should have loved you better. Again, he's talking to faith. I'm not entirely sure if he's talking from a religious sense, if he's talking about God, how he sees whatever, spirituality, whatever it is, right? He literally is, even if he's speaking to himself, let's say he's talking into the mirror, right? 6 inches from the mirror is where you're going to find the truth of your existence, right? You're going to see someone that you don't quite recognize or know, right? And every time you look at that mirror, you're going to be like, who am I? 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 But it's in that faith. It's in that belief that you are of something. That is when you attain a level of God within you, right? Whether it be God as in God or God within yourself. Something that casts out the darkness in your mind. Something that casts out the demons in your mind. Do you know what I mean? And that's literally what he's talking about. Whether it be loving himself. So if he's loving himself, he's effectively loving a God, a creator, something that created him in the order that is this world, essentially. So anyway, carry on.
It's over my head.
Bad place on $100 base. Kinda wishing that I never.
Ah, crazy. Bad place on $100 base. I kind of feel like that's kind of a bar where he's playing to fucking baseball, essentially. So he's basically saying that I've got money, but it doesn't mean that money absolves me of my strife, essentially. I still get these bad days. I still have these a bad place. And when he arrives here at the lemonade stand, I think this is such a profound moment. It's going back to when he was a child. He kind of sees himself, that entrepreneurial self, he sees that in this child where he sort of started gaining something, putting those dimes together, right? To get something that you can buy of substance, essentially, chasing your dreams, whatever it is, essentially. And when you actually see what he trades, he goes back to the old school trading system. There's no money over there. Money is less valuable to the kid than actual, inspiration and actual creativity. So he hands him a piece of his role. He hands him one of the rolls to the child. Doesn't give him the 75 cents. I think it's 75 or 85 cents, whatever it is for the lemonade, right? But they're bartering something. He needed something outside of what he is used to, right? So I give you a roll, you give me lemonade, right? So it gave me something different, something that's either, the lemonade's actually quite clever because giving him lemonade, it's almost like the kid is giving him the sweet and sour. The sweet and sour is the representation of the sweet and sour of life. You're going to have good moments, you're going to have bad moments. Essentially, a child doesn't quite grasp that. But in turn, having all of the wisdom and having lived his life, is literally almost giving him a lesson of life. Is giving him something that's more valuable to him. This is something that can sustain him more, right? It's not just a roll. He can make a burger out of it, and there's a lot of elements that go into that burger, so he can go and try and find himself, essentially. So that trade, where it's not actually money, he's cutting out the monetization, right? He's literally talking about the bare necessities. You have something I need, right? That's going to quench my soul or quench my thirst. But soul, there's a metaphor inside there as well, right? And I'm going to give you something of value, which is that role that you can create something out of, right? Although the role is just literally the basis for something greater. You add the meat, you add the gherkins, you add the fucking flavor, right? I'm just giving you something that you can start, a foundation. The lemonade stand is kind of that foundational element for the child. It shows that passion. It shows that entrepreneurial element from a child, where it's like from the very beginning, right? I think it's very powerful, and he sees that in the child, which I think is very cool.
Wishing that I never did Saturday. Is that a stain? You should change. Are you doing good? Did you solve all of your problems? Thanks for asking in a way, but accidentally uncovered a new one yesterday.
You see, he's giving him wisdom in the lyrics, but the actual role represents that fucking wisdom. It represents that creativity. That's why there's no money exchange here. Do you know what I mean? Come on, bro. This is outside of the sort of monetary capitalistic world where you trade money for good. This is literally, I'm giving you something of value that you can give me. Money's, there's a value, but there's a superficiality to money as well. But it's literally, back to basics. I'm giving you something of substance, and you giving me something of substance. You can quench my thirst, I can quench your hunger. That's actually a great little way that he's playing this over here. You quench my thirst, right, for what I'm looking for, right? I've kind of forgotten that sweet and sour of life. The kid gives him that, and he's literally giving him something that can help the kid with his hunger to succeed, right? That's why he's got the fucking lemonade stand. Anyway, carry on.
When yesterday, what happened to what I brushed under the rug? I used to be a champion of a world you can't see. Now I'm drowning in logistics.
At Gate, I used to be a champion of the world that you can't see, right? So you can't see the world that I'm in. Obviously, that world is all completely in my mind. You can't see. So I used to be the champion of that world. I used to be like this kid. He's literally projecting onto the kid. He's telling the kid, I used to be like you. I used to be the champion of the world. I used to be the superhero and the villain of this world. I could be whatever I wanted as a child, right? It was a world that you couldn't see. It was an imaginary world. So he plays into the childlike tendencies of creating this imaginary world. You could be anything you wanted, and you could be the champion of that world. And as you get older, that kind of erodes due to societal pressures, due to environmental pressures, due to stresses, due to just adulting in general. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost, to a certain degree, he's kind of envious of where this child is, going back to the beginning, back to basics, back to where he was hungry. Come on.
I'm drowning in logistics.
I don't wanna backslide to where I started from. There's no chance I will shake this again. 'Cause I feel.
Now, this is a very clever fucking line over here. I don't want to backslide to where I came from, because he kind of felt like in the very beginning, right, he had the energy for it, right? He doesn't know if he can shake this again. And this is purely because he's got this knowledge. The reason why he could do it the first time is because he never knew what was coming, right? So when you don't know what's coming, you go through it, you go through the rough storms, like, fuck, I never expected this. But now that he sees how harsh life can be, right, he doesn't want to backslide there, because he's not going to have that level of hunger. That's why he's envious of the child. Is like, you don't even know how hard the shit can get. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if I could backslide to where I started, not knowing what I know, I could shake this again. But knowing what I know now, I'm not entirely sure I have the strength to do it all over again. The crazy thing about that is that he does. Do you know what I mean? We can take on more than we think. But anyway, carry on.
Again, 'cause I feel the pull, water's over my head, strength enough for.
So this is literally talking about the way he's talking about, I can feel the pool waters over my head. So you can feel that current, right? That riptide that's pulling you back into that ocean. So he's telling you that he's starting to feel like, that his mindset is just, I don't think he's going back into that mindset. He's just really sort of nervous and insecure, that it's so easy to slide back into that, right? So when life gets tough, when life gets hard, even though he's got a lot more resources now, he still feels that it's terrifying to think that he could go back into that mindset, essentially. So it's literally him just giving you his thoughts, right? It's food for thought. And it just so happens to be in a bag of 6 rolls that he's riding on the bike over there. It's so innocent and profound. It's frighteningly amazing. Love the trees. I love the fact that they do the B-roll of the trees over here, because I love it when they represent hard times and the different journey of life through the seasons, right? Where it's the spring and it's flowering and stuff like that. It gives you this false sense, this false illusion that things are good, but a storm is only a day away, a minute away, whatever it is. The storm is always going to come. Just because the flowers are booming doesn't mean that there aren't storms coming. And that's literally just a representation of life. Anyway, carry on.
Strength enough for one more time. Reach my hand above the tide. I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better.
If you can throw me a line again, it's about talking to, I genuinely feel it's about talking to faith. It's about talking to a higher power, about casting a line. And the crazy thing about that casting a line is actually him casting himself a line, essentially. It's not like if he's drowning in the ocean, essentially it's like, okay, God isn't going to come and actually pull you out of that ocean, right? You need to take the opportunities that come for you. So if you are literally in that ocean and a lifeboat comes along and you're like, no, it's fine, God will save me. It's kind of like that fucking Pursuit of Happiness little story that the kid told, right? It's fine, no, God's going to save me. It's like, okay, well, the lifeboat goes and you drown anyway, right? It's about that awareness that you actually have this in you. You can cast your own line and take the opportunities to sort of reel yourself out of that harshness, out of that current. It's all within your hands, your ability, right? And you can play that up to a greater God. You can play that up into spirituality. You can play that up into just believing in something greater than yourself, not echo chambering yourself, believing in something that's greater than yourself, right? They're placing a value on a order that you belong in, essentially. So it's knowing that you are of value and have purpose to this order. That's how you cast yourself the line. If you actually look at the world in terms of like, well, we're just bags of flesh, we live and we die, you're not casting yourself any line, right? You're not doing yourself any favors in that way. You need to think of yourself of something greater, right? Because that's how you will live your existence. You never have nothing. It's always within here. Come on.
I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? I don't mind if it's over my head. I don't mind if it's fair. You should let go. I don't care if it's over my head. Leave me anywhere. I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? It's over my head. You should let go. It's over my head. I don't wanna.
This is such a profound moment over here with Josh actually cooking that patty, right? Now, Josh needs the buns, right? And Tyler needs the patty, right? So both of them actually add something very, very important to that world. You can't create that burger without all of those elements, right? So they've got the most important element to create a fucking burger. You still have a burger outside of the condiments, outside of the fucking gherkins, outside of the lettuce. That's all just additions. That's extra flavor to your existence, right? But the base substance, the base thing to actually feed yourself, right? Which is obviously the protein, which is the beef, and then obviously the bun. Right? You make a burger outside of all the thing. The condiments are there anyway. But the thing is that Josh holds an element to his existence, essentially. Without Josh, he doesn't have that burger, and Josh without Tyler doesn't have that bun, right? But I also kind of feel like he's trying to portray that Tyler brings in the creativity in terms of the real substance, the calories of his fucking music, the shit that's gonna give you the energy, the oomph comes through Tyler's creativity, right? And I kind of feel like he's trying to tell you or trying to tell us that his creativity, a lot of the times, as brilliant as it is, can be incredibly fickle based on his journey in his own life. His own storms tend to destroy the creativity in his bag, right? Like what he has, like he's always sort of like, you can play this so many fucking ways, essentially. So Josh is always there and ready, right? To slip into his creativity, to add that instrumental sustenance, right, into Tyler's burger. But every time, it's almost like when he journeys on, he comes back to Josh, and it's like, fuck, bro, this just doesn't work. Let's redo it, repeat it, do this again. Do you know what I mean? Like, the roles are fucked, right? Which means my creativity is fucked. It means I've scrunched another page and gone. And Tyler's just there, ready to slip into, Josh is there, ready to just slip into Tyler's creativity and to enhance, to actually make that burger. Do you know what I mean? Fire. It is so fucking clever. And then he goes back to the store and he does that multiple times, essentially. So I think it's just so clever in terms of what they have done with this fucking music video. It's brilliant.
I don't wanna
I like the actual branding of the actual store over here where it says food, petrol, etc. Because if you actually think of food and petrol, it's basically the same thing, just for two different things, essentially. Food is the fuel for human beings. Like, food is our fuel to keep us going. And petrol is the fuel for vehicles to actually move you. So he's talking about the vehicle over there. But what I like about that over there, he doesn't actually need the petrol. He just needs the fuel, because he kind of feels like it's nothing else. No one's involved in this sort of like journey of trying to fuel his bike. It's like, it's back down to basics. It's not about the car. It's literally about him fueling his own creativity, and then kind of like losing that along the way, and kind of reflecting on that when he sees a younger child as well. Very, very clever, very brilliant little play on all of this. Do you know what I mean? Oh Jesus, they've even got the Bayou with the Ned head on there. Sale 9 for $21. And there's even a sign that it says Bishop's brand available here. This is so fucking clever. These guys are so fucking smart. He's even got his dog there, bro. Jim, he's got the fucking dog and the bubble gum. And I like the fact that he's actually got the bubble gum because it plays into his kids as well, right? It's so clever. These fucking guys, you have to just pay attention, because every single fucking thing is a clue, right? And this is basically the representation of his entire life. He brings his family into it. He brings his fans into it. He brings his insecurities into it, the bishops into it. Everything. He literally ties up the story very, very cleverly. So fucking smart at what they do over here. And the greatest thing about the end of this video is Josh is always there with that one patty. He never sort of like, you know what, fuck, you know, Jesus, Tyler's just never getting over these fucking rolls. Let's call it a day. Never. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I'm here. I will fucking man the grill until you fucking bring that bun. You bring that creativity, and we fucking get this fucking going. He's like, okay, you'll be here, it's fine. Too fucking brilliant. They're just too fucking brilliant. Like, I can't even tell you. This is probably one of my favorite songs. Definitely the fucking greatest song I've heard this year. 100%, I've just got to that fucking chorus. Sorry, I know I'm swearing a lot, but oh good God, this chorus is unbelievable.
It's over, I will shake this
chorus, though, what is he doing here?
Water's over my head, strength enough for one more time.
Oh my God, this chorus, bro.
I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better.
The vocal stacking, everything on this fucking chorus. These guys know how to produce music. They just know how to master and produce fucking music. They know how to create that atmosphere. Their beats never sound fucking muddy, nothing. It's so clean. It's so clean cut. The vocal stacking on everything. It's just, it gives you that anthemic feel, which is so fire on this fucking chorus. What is he doing here? What is going on here?
Shake this again, 'cause I feel the pull. Water's over my head.
I just can't. I can't for this. I can't for the song. What is going on here, man?
We'll shake this and get it from. Wanna backslide to where we started from. There's no chance I will shake
What are
this
they
again.
doing on this chorus, dude?
'Cause I feel the pull, water's over my head. Strength enough for one more time. Reach my hand above the tide. I'll take anything you have. If you could throw me a line, I should have loved you better. Do you think that now's the time you should let go? I don't mind if it's over my head. I don't mind if it's real. You should let go.
It's fire. It's fire. This is one of the greatest tracks I've fucking heard this year. Am I surprised it's coming from 21 Pilots? Obviously fucking not. Well, of course not. Oh god, the profanity in this has been ridiculous on my part, but I apologize about that, but I can't. This track is so fucking good. Again, I swear. Okay, let's just end it here, or else, jeez. Anyway, I love you all. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.